Al-Mursalaat. Al-Mursalati urfan, by the ones who are sent forth one after the other, lies promising on few elements of his creatures, by the ones who will be sent forth one after the other, and by the winds that blow violently, and by the ones who scatter far and wide, and by those who separate the criterion, and by those who bring down the reminder. And these 5 points that Allah highlights in the first 5 ayahs of the surah, and there were some commentators who say that this refers to the winds, and Allah is promising on winds, and Allah is trying to convey an important matter. Or some commentators have said that this refers to angels. However it is, Allah promises on them, and then now says Uzran or Nuzra, a justification and as a warning. Allah is sending down an important information that Innama tu'aduna lawaqi. Verily, whatever you have been promised with will surely occur. And so when the stars are obliterated, which means this will lose its power, or it will lose its intensity or the brightness. This happens on the day of Qiyamah. And when the sky will be cleft asunder, or the heaven will be cleft asunder, and when the mountains will blow away or blown away, and when the messengers are gathered to their appointed time, all the messengers will be gathered to an appointed time. Do you know what is that appointed time? Li ayyi yawmin ujjilat, for what? The day of, or these have been postponed with. All of these matters are postponed to a date, that is the day of Yawmul Fasl, which means the day of judgment. It's another name for Yawmul Qiyamah, for the day of judgment. Do you know what will make you know about what is the day of judgment is all about? The day, woe to the deniers, woe that day to the deniers. Anam nuhlikil awwalin, did not we destroy the former people? I mean the people who have denied in the concept of hereafter, and their histories of destroying them have not reached you. Then we followed them up with later ones, and a new set of generation was brought up to serve or to accept the message of their respective prophets. And that's how we deal with the criminals, and woe that day to the deniers. Did not we create you from a water which is despicable? Which means if this water has somehow got spreaded on your bedspread or on your clothes, you feel very uncomfortable. You don't feel relaxed unless you clean it up. That is the nature from which you have been created, and now you are revolting against Allah. That's a stunning question that Allah says, Ma'in, or you can say it like despicable or humiliating or disgusting liquid. And then it's a pre-plan of Allah, and it's a decision of Allah to place it in an abode which is safe. And Allah, and who is taking this water to a place which is very safe? This refers to the womb of the mother. And who is involved in taking this up and safeguarding it in the womb of the mother? And that too, it is safeguarded for a period which is well known, and the delivery date is well known for Allah. So we measured it to the best of the measure possible. It's a pre-decision of Allah to hold it and to retain you for a period of time. So having done all these things to you before you coming to the existence in this world, will you still deny in the process of Yawmul Qiyamah? That's why Allah keeps cursing the people who deny in the concept of Qiyamah. Woe that day to the deniers, because they are going to be, there are two kind of explanation that is being given, and this ayat is getting repeated in the surah. One is Allah is cursing them. Allah is cursing the people because they are literally going to be failing on the day of Qiyamah, because they have denied So they didn't made any preparation. So naturally, they will be getting into hellfire. The other is while some Mufassirin says while is also a name of a type of a hell. So here Allah is telling that those deniers will be landing up into hell called as while. So both the kind of explanation has been given to this ayat. Alam Najalil. Do you think the things that Allah has made for the worldly life it's just for play and fun? Just look at the massive creation of Allah and things that He has done before you come to existence in this world. Have not we made the earth, which is receptacle, which means both the living is living on the face of the earth, even the dead ones are there, and everyone is collectively living. And Allah has made this earth very receptacle, and we made therein the firmly set mountains, which looks very lofty, and through that we gave you to drink the water which is sweet. And we know that the origin of any perennial rivers comes from the mountains. And do you think all the setup is based? And Allah has done it without any purpose? Woe that day to the deniers. Proceed to whatever that you used to do in it, denying, because proceed to a shadow having 3 columns. Not you can feel shade, not you can avail against him any flame. And innaha, and verily it throws up sparks as if like the fortress. The sparks that comes out of the hellfire, this itself will look like a fortress or like a castle. Such as the big fog, that is a big sparks that comes out, as if they look like yellow camel. And woe that day to the deniers. This day they will not be given permission to speak or to give excuses for their behaviors, and not will be permitted for them to make any excuses. Woe that day to the deniers. And this day is the day we have gathered you, not only you and all the former people. So if it's for you a plan, then plan against me. Allah is giving an open challenge. If you can escape, do you think you can escape from this day? Then devise a plan. And woe that day to the deniers. Verily the righteous will be in the shades and will be in the springs, and the fruits from whatever that they desire for. And they would eat and drink with full satisfaction. Honey and say it like satisfaction or happily. Sometimes we order food in the hotel and the food which comes that disappoint us. And that was not the kind of taste that we would have expected. But here, Allah gives foods that you expect, and after eating, you will feel satisfaction of what they used to do. Verily, indeed we thus reward the good doers, and woe that day to the deniers. And eat yourself, and eat and enjoy yourself for a little. Verily, you were criminals. Woe that day to the deniers. And when it is said to them to bow down, not they are ready to bow down. And woe that day to the deniers. Then after explaining all these things, Allah asks a stunning question and then concludes the surah. Even after explaining this convincingly, do you think any other statement will convince you? Then in hadith in if you are not ready to believe in the concept that Quran is proposing, then do you think which other statement can convince you, sir? Which other statement can convince you? Then in what statement after this, after it refers to what Quran has said, will you believe? It's a question with that the surah